All right. So today's conversation is going to be about stress and weight loss, and really um, how stress can be affecting you health wise, and how it can be affecting you with weight gain. Right. And then on top of that, we're going to just go into what we need to learn about stress to help us benefit from it and how what strategies we can use to help us manage it. Okay, this is a really big topic that I've been experiencing with a lot of my clients, and so I just wanted to give everybody, a little update about how I approach the process of stress management with my clients and where we need to start, and what the end goal is. Right. So let's get started. Right, stress and weight loss. So. Let's see. So I like to break it down with a very simple definition about what stress is. So stress is or can be defined as the body and mind's response to a demand. So anything that you have to do is referred to as like a stressor. Anything that requires your focus, your attention, you to physically heal, right, is going to be a stressor. And there's two types, right? In the beginning, it was broken down as there's physiological stressors and there are psychological stressors. So when we look at that, it's the body, right? Physiological, and then the mind, psychological, right? Um, but now we look at it a little bit differently, right? So we now look at them as absolute and relative stressors, right? Um, and this kind of just takes away from everything that mixes up within stress, because there are things that cause every single one of us stress, right? And then there are things that someone may interpret it as being less stressful. um so let's talk about that, right? So absolute stressors everyone is exposed to and would perceive it as stressful. So for example, there's life-changing things like earthquakes, tsunami, 9/11, as it just we just got through that day, right? And then there's also like injuries, sickness, um, what else? Inflammation in the body, nutrition, exercise. All those are stress on the body, right? And everybody's going to experience stress from those activities and from those um, different physiological processes, right? Body functions going on, right? And then relative stressors. This is where we're going to focus the most at, right? Because a lot of us here right now, we may have some absolute stressors that are always going to be there, and they may be short term, right? But they're always going to linger with us. But relative stressors are the ones that we really have the most control over. And these are subjective. So they cause different reactions in different people. So how I would react to something is going to be different to how that stressor comes up and how you would react. And I like to think about this in the sense of, right, time, the pressure of time. Um, we can be someone who's really, really timely, and that cause a lot of stress on us. But if if the house is dirty, then and that doesn't bother us, then it can't be an absolute stressor, right? Whereas like for me, I'm not the best and most timeliest person, um, but I know other people who are, right? And so there's other examples such as like traffic, taxes, exams, etc. Now with these two types of stressors, the thing is that they cause the same stress response. So whether that relative stressor is high for you and this absolute stressor is high for you, and the absolute stressor is a tsunami coming to hit your house, and the relative stressor is you being late to work, stress is going to hit you the same amount, right? Your response that you have is going to be no different. They're going to be the same. And that's something that we have to take into consideration, right? And we'll learn more about that moving forward, right? But this is just something that I wanted to bring to light for you, that there are absolute stressors that everyone's going to interpret and understand as being very stressful. And then those are going to be life-changing things that happen, right? And then there are relative stressors that are more of the smaller day-to-day um, psychological types of stress that we may experience, right? The pressures that we put on ourselves. So the stress response. So the stress response is the stressors cause the release of hormones, right? And those two hormones, there's a number of them, right? But a couple of, we're going to focus on two today. The first one is cortisol, and the second one is adrenaline. These are your body's main stress hormones. Okay. And so what do they do in the body, right? Uh, they cause what we refer to as, it's very common to, your fight or flight response. Now we know there is a flight, fright, and wait, flight, or fight, flight, or fright response. So there's three of them. So some people are going to stand there and fight it. Some people are going to run away, and then some people are going to freeze up, like a deer in some headlights. All right. So those are the three different. So those are the three things that are going to happen. So what's going on? How's your body responding? How are these hormones affecting your body? All right. So the first thing is that it's going to increase your heart rate. So your body's going to start to pump blood um, at a higher. It's going to increase your blood pressure, increase your heart rate. So you're going to be pumping blood at a higher rate and more volume throughout your body faster, right? As what does blood carry? Oxygen, right? Oxygen is what's going to bring energy to your muscles. Okay. Second thing or third thing it's going to do, it's going to cause your body to tense up, right? So you're going to get really tight. This is where people experience like back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, really tight wrists and forearms. That's your body saying that it's experiencing stress, right? So you'll know this if you have like a lot of stress going on during a week of work and your neck starts to get really tight. It could be that you're sitting there, standing or sitting and looking at a computer, right? But it can also, and you stretch out all the time, but it's like, man, my neck is still really tight, right? That's a sign, right? So we have blood pressure increases, heart rate increases, muscles tense. Something that also happens during your stress response is that your body increases its uh, blood flow to your extremities, so like to your arms and legs, right? And it reduces the flow of blood to your your midsection, right? Your torso, where all of your organs are. Right. The reason for it is that those bodily functions are not required in a stress state, right? So if I'm really stressed out and I'm going to fight or flight somebody, I want as much energy and strength and power in my arms and legs so that I can either run or punch or push or whatever it is as hard as I can. And I don't need anything in here because if I die, right, if this tiger kills me, then my organs, I was going to die anyways, right? So it reduces the flow of blood into to your organs, right, into your brain. So those are a couple of things that we're going to focus on, right? Those are the main responses or stress response that we're going to focus on going on in the body, and all those are going to have an extreme effect on you, right? So now we're going to talk about it in the sense of, uh, yeah, we'll talk about it here. So what's going on, right? If we're highly stressed 24 or for 9 hours a day at work, and then when we come home from work, we're stressed even more, right? Because we got to worry about kids, we have to worry about our husband or wife, we have to worry about paying the bills. We have to worry about traffic, keeping our kids safe, all these things that we got to worry about. And our stress response is going to be high all the time, right? So if my stress response is high, my heart rate's high. If my stress response is high, then um, my insides, my organs aren't getting proper blood flow, right? Or getting restricted blood flow. My heart rate's high, my blood pressure is high, my blood sugar levels are high because there's more sugar in your blood, so it also increases the amount of sugar that's flowing through your body. Um, there's more stress on my arteries or my venous system, my venous systems, right? My veins and my arteries because of the higher blood pressure, right? The more force that's going on in there. So this continuous for a long period of time is going to result in health consequences, right? So I wanted to bring that up just to bring to light the health consequences that come from stress. There's many more, right? But those are the ones that are focused on that we're going to focus on here, right? Those have to do with your health and fitness, right? But how does it also affect, stress and weight gain? So we talked about how it increases your blood sugar levels, right? You need more blood sugar because sugar is energy in your body, right? So adrenaline and cortisol cause an instant boost of energy and focus on the stressor. So for a short term, right? Like many of us experience this is why we don't eat when we're supposed to, right? We have an adrenaline boost, which gives us energy and what gives us focus on stress, on whatever the stressor is. If it's work, if it's our kids, if it's cleaning, if it's a task that we're working on, we're going to be focused on that and we're not going to eat. So it reduces appetite and directs the body away from normal bodily functions, as we were discussing in the beginning, right? It doesn't need to function here because it's stressed out. It doesn't know whether it's a tiger attacking you or you're sitting at home anxious. No different, right? Now, so the blood isn't being gone here. It's going again out to your extremities. Your heart's getting overworked. Your blood pressure is high. Your blood sugar levels are high, right? Um, so that's one of the problems, right? You're not eating. And then so what happens after that? So as the adrenaline goes away and gets used up in the body, the cortisol stays in your body, right? Cortisol is saying, hey, we need sugar in here. Cortisol is important, right? It's a really important. That's the hormone that wakes you up. When you wake up energized or with energy in the morning, that's when your cortisol levels are released. So this is very important. We need cortisol in our body. But cortisol follows our REM cycle, so our sleep cycle. When it in the morning it's high and towards the night it should go down, right? When you're highly stressed and it's high in the morning, right? And then it starts to go down, and then you're really stressed again. It stays up, and then it goes down. You'll eat a bunch, replenish your food, your energies, or replenish your energy stores, and then at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, you'll get what's called your second wind, and they'll go back up, right? Your cortisol levels go back up, and you have trouble sleeping, right? So when all that is happening, and you're thinking, "Oh, I just have more energy because I'm not at work anymore," right? It's not that. It's your cortisol levels went down and then they fluctuated back up, and now you have some energy at night, right? So what happens, right, is the cortisol or the adrenaline starts to go away. Cortisol levels are starting to go down. They're like, hey, we need more energy because we're stressed out, bro. Like we got to get more. So you'll eat, something that's highly palatable, right? When I say highly palatable, I mean something that is um, uh, uh, that stimulates your reward system in your brain that says, "Oh, this is good." So you can refer to like a donut, something that was sweets and goods like that, something that's very very rewarding to your head, right? Comfort food. So think about your favorite dessert. Think about your favorite go-to meal. Those are That's your body trying to replenish its energy stores. It's not you saying, "Oh, I'm stressed. I need this." It's your body's telling you, "Hey, I need something that has a lot of carbs and a lot of fat because I just burned a bunch of that stuff. Uh, Bring it to me." And in your head, you remember, "Oh, this is what I like in this situation. I'm gonna go get that." Boom, you go get it. You replenish your stores, right? But the thing is, you don't burn as many calories as you think you do, right? So we'll talk more about that. And then acute stress can also cause you to desire more desserts and snacks. Right. So there's a couple studies. So this is all based off research. I'll put the study. I don't have them cited in here, so it's kind of sketchy. But I'll add them to the PowerPoint. But so that you can take a look at them. Right. But acute stress can also cause you to desire more desserts and snacks. So you're basically using this as a coping mechanism, right? Now it's I want to eat to avoid and comfort myself because I'm psychologically stressed. I don't have anything to do, but I'm stressed out right now, right? This small thing that I think is really, really hard on me, I'm going to revert to this to help me manage it because that's the control that I have. When you lose control, you desire control, right? You lose it, you desire it. You want to find it in something. And a lot of people use food in that way, okay? So from this slide, I want us to take away that stress, the hormones that are released during the stress, the main purpose is to produce as much energy as possible. If we're stressed for high and we are stressed for high periods amount of time throughout our entire day, and so we're using there's a lot of sugar flowing through our blood. There's a lot of stress going on within the inside of our body. So that's why we need to learn how to, and this continuous level of stress is going to cause our body to desire sugars, more highly palatable foods, foods that are higher in fat and higher in carbs. Okay, carbs and fats aren't bad, but too much is bad. Right? We can all agree on that, right? Not because they're carbs and fats, but because they too many calories. All right, perfect. So since we kind of talked about the weight gain aspect of it, um, we're going to learn now how do we manage this. Okay, so to cope better, you really have to do four things, right? And people, when I usually talk to them about this, they're like, "That's not the conversation I wanted," right? But this is the conversation that they need and that you need. So to cope better, right? You have to deconstruct your stress. So it doesn't mean go throw everything away, live a minimalist lifestyle, or anything like that, right? But it simply means become aware of when your body is stressed. When your body says, "Hey, I'm being overworked, I need to take a break." Or, "Hey, I'm highly worked right now, I'm worked up, I need to go get this energy out." Right? So the idea here is, listen, when is my heart rate when is my heart rate increasing? Or why is my heart rate increasing? Why am I feeling anxious? Why am I feeling fearful or alert? Right? Why is my neck? Why I got a kink in my neck? I haven't done anything, right? Why am I getting bad sleep? Right? Question those things. Don't think there's something normal. Oh, I'm getting bad sleep because I'm not a good sleeper. Or I always got this pain in my shoulder. Or I'm just an anxious person, so that's why my heart rate's always high. Right? Don't give it an excuse, but deconstruct. Why is my body reacting in these ways? Question it. Become aware of it. Oh, when people talk to me in disrespectful ways and I ruminate on what I'm feeling, then that's when my heart rate starts to increase and I start to feel some type of animosity towards people, right? When my kid is doing bad in school, that's what keeps me up at night, right? Find out why you're becoming stressed and what's causing you stress in your life. I tell people keep a stress notebook, keep a journal in general, right? Where you just journal everything that you do. One of the best things you can do, you know, it's a majority of little girls, right? But a majority of little girls keep diaries. Diary is a great thing to do. I'm a grown man and I keep a diary when I need it. You know what I'm saying? It's all about and it's all about writing down everything that went on in my day, the thoughts that are running 1,000 miles per hour in my head, put them on a sheet of paper. Is this something that is a relative stressor? Why is it causing me stress? And what can I do to figure this out? Problem solve, right? So deconstructing your stress is just using strategies to help you reduce your stress. Um, Learn to live with the stress. Decrease the impact the stress has on you. Learn to live with it. It's never going to go away. Your whole life is stress. Your body is responding to stress every single day. You looking at a YouTube video, you looking at something with light, you reading, you walking, you being anxious, you thinking, all that is stress, right? So it's always going to be there. But what are the things that require you to feel stressed out? There's an earthquake in your house just fell. Yeah, you should be stressed about that. Your the water pipe in your second floor bursted and now your house is flooded and you don't have insurance. Yeah, you should be stressed out. I would be stressed out. All right, those are absolute stressors. So what can I do in this situation? We're going to talk about that, right? But the idea here is we need to pick and choose the right things to be stressed about. If we're stressed about a bunch of little things, we're going to feel a lot more stress, and those are relative stressors. Um, Third one, move when stressed. Yes, we're going to talk about coping mechanisms and how to manage it. Move when you're stressed. That's what your body's doing. It's saying, hey, bro, or hey, dude, hey, lady, right? It's saying, hey, my heart rate's increasing, my blood pressure is increasing, my blood sugar levels are increasing, my muscles are more tense, right? Go use it. Go use those hormones and flush them out your body. I had a professor that would call her workouts cortisol flush activities. Working out was a cortisol flush activity for her. She wasn't going in there to get big and strong. She wasn't going in there to lift 1,000,000 pounds or look like a Greek god, right? She was going in simply for health purposes and to utilize the hormones that she uh, released throughout the day. She goes in there, 30, 45 minutes of exercise, either resistance training, aerobic exercise, and she was done. Comes in, she's calm, she got good energy, her state of mind's in a good place, and now you can move on with your day. Move when you're stressed. People usually shut down and stop doing things, and that's the wrong thing to do. Get yourself up, go for a walk, get yourself out there, go to the gym, right? Do not ruminate, do not sit there and bask in your uh, uh, sadness or stress. Get up and move, right? Because it's what your body is telling you to do in those situations. And then the fourth one, focus on the big picture. 100%. Focus on what your end goal is. And we need to focus on this, especially for people who are trying to lose weight. Yeah, you're trying to lose weight and you might be stuck right now. There may be some things going on that are affecting your body's ability to lose weight. Okay. But you cannot forget about the lifestyle habits that you developed. You cannot forget about how you've made a ton of progress to live a healthier lifestyle. You're losing weight to live a healthier lifestyle. You behave at it, you act in it, and you get there by those lifestyle behaviors and those lifestyle habits. That comes first. Once you get that done, the weight loss is going to come. Okay. And so we need to remember that the big picture is more important than what happened today. What you want to accomplish a year from now is more important than what happened today. And you can't throw away that long-term result and that long-term goal because of what happened today and what happened yesterday or even the week before, right? You need to just pick up where you left off and continue making progress. That's my thing. Continue making progress. Pick up where you left off and continue making progress. That's all you need to do. This grind is never going to stop because you want to be fit for the rest of your life. You don't want to be fit for a month, 2 months, 3 months. You want to be fit for the rest of your life. Okay. And we got to remember that. The big picture is more important. Okay. So three basic ways to help manage your stress and to help to reduce the effects that stress has on you. Give me 1 second. Let me turn off. Okay. So let's talk about this. So lifestyle ways to manage stress. Okay. So sleep 7 to 9 hours per night. Okay. Pretty simple, right? It's not simple though, right? When we, but what you got to do, right? Meditate, read, keep a journal, and no screens at least an hour before bed. Every single person who's implemented these things that I've worked with has improved their sleep tremendously and they wake up energized. Every single one of them. So remember, when you're stressed, sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight response, you're not worried about going to sleep when you're running away from a tiger or a lion. Right? You're not worried about sleep. Or if you're sleeping in a jungle or in a cave and you hear tigers and lions running around, right? You're not worried about sleep. But we don't have those things going on, right? We don't have those things in our household. So we need to teach our body how to switch from a sympathetic nervous system to a parasympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic is your rest and digest. You're sleepy, right? You want to let all your blood flow goes into your organs and your digestive system and your brain and your heart, right? Everything is going there to help it all heal, release the hormones, rejuvenate, all those important, or for them to do all their functions is going on then, right? Uh, so, and they're starting to find more evidence to show that the faster your body's able to switch from a sympathetic to a parasympathetic uh, nervous system to parasympathetic nervous system is the sign of a health of optimal health in people. Uh, this is actually pretty cool. I was talking with a friend, and he wears a band called the Woof, and this actually, in my watch, actually keeps track of my sleep too. But it helps. But the Woof, the watch, it's a band that like tracks like your biofeedback, so your body's like heart rate and hormones and all that type of stuff. Uh, but it keeps track of how his what his sleep is like and what his switch from sympathetic to parasympathetic is like. And there was a night where he drank some alcohol before bed, right? And he had a 46% recovery rate at night. Right? He was only in his he only went through his REM cycles of like deep sleep once or twice. Right? Whereas like normal, when you do it when you sleep without it, you want to shoot for like 4 to 6, right? So he woke up tired, right? His body was a little bit more tight, a little more sore, right? And on days where he didn't, drink anything at night and meditated, kept his journal, turned off all screens 2 hours before bed, he was at like a 95% recovery rate. So it was just way better, right? And so sleep, great way to manage your stress. Um, I promise you, if you get 7 to 9 hours of sleep, ooh, it's gonna help. And meditating helps just put your body in a restful state. Reading, again, a restful state. You're not worried about all the anxiety stuff going on outside. You're focused in. Keeping a journal takes all those thoughts that you have running in your head at 1,000 miles per hour, puts it on paper. You don't got to worry about it anymore, right? Um, no screens. Again, people think that watching TV before bed or keeping the TV on while they're trying to sleep is like good for them. No, your brain is literally working to try to take in all the stimulus, right? Before you go to bed, you want to reduce the stimulus. TV, phones, music, like rap or rock or something, that type of music. If it's classical, right, then it's like a little different on the brain. It's actually soothing for the brain. Um, the frequency, right, of it. Um, so you really want to limit the screen time because it's all stimulus and keeping your brain activated and alert. So it's sympathetic, right? Trying to find something wrong. uh, calories in your eating, right? So you want to eat adequate amounts of calories from vegetables, unsaturated fats, and lean protein. Extremely important, right? First one is calories. Most people do not eat enough, right? Most people do not eat enough vitamins and minerals from the nutritional vitamins and minerals, dietary vitamins and minerals. So from your diet, right? And if you, I like to think about it like this: like you have vitamins, minerals, and water, right? Those are what's referred to as your micronutrients. And then you have your macronutrients, which are your proteins, your fats, and your carbs. Your proteins, your fats, and your carbs are going to bring in energy to your body. You're going to eat it, and you're going to take it all in, right? So it's like putting fuel in your gas tank, right? And then it's I like to think about it too with the vitamins and minerals is in the water is that these are the key. You need these in order to access this energy. If you don't have these vitamins and minerals, you cannot utilize this energy. Okay? Beat your water soluble vitamins are all used to help with your metabolism and energy production. A majority of them are, right? That's why if you look at like I got a Red Bull right here that I drank a long time ago, but vitamin B12, 80%, niacin, another B vitamin, or water, 100% of your daily intake. Vitamin B6, 250% of your recommended daily intake. Pantothenic acid, another B vitamin. So the idea here is that these energy drinks, right, are putting in these huge B vitamins because they know that they're used for energy and metabolism use in your body. So they need to put that in there with carbohydrates and caffeine in order to increase your energy. It's an energy drink, right? That's what it's need. That's what it's needed for, and that's why your body needs it. So you can't utilize these fats, proteins, and carbs like you could if you're eating a high vegetable diet with getting proper amounts of vitamins and minerals. So you want to eat a balanced diet with adequate amounts of calories. The second thing, calories. You're not eating enough calories, then you're not going to have the energy to do anything. Your body's going to be like, yo, we're not eating enough. I need to slow you down, right? Your brain function is going to slow down. So you're more irritable. There's more stress going on in your body. You're more irritable. You're angry. There's more inflammation. There's more free radicals, more oxidative state, right, in your body. So your body's just going to be unhealthy on the inside, right? So you want to eat vegetables because it helps get rid of all that stuff. Unsaturated fat helps reduce inflammation and increase lubrication. And then lean protein helps give your body the nutrients to rebuild itself, right? And then, like we talked about earlier, last slide, exercise for at least 20 to 45 minutes per day, doing resistance training or some type of aerobic training. So, resistance training is just like hit workouts with weights, using weights, doing it safely. And then aerobic is like walking, swimming, jogging, anything for a long period of time. So, basically just exercising is going to be really good for you. And this is going to help put your body in a state where you're managing stress well, and is going to be in a state where it wants to do more of these. It wants to burn. You're not overeating because you're not overly stressed, right? You're you're in the mindset that I can control these things around me, so I can meal prep. I know that I'm focused on the long term, right? These are going to help you stay positive within your mindset. Okay, and that's kind of what we're going to go into next too. So coping strategies, right? Okay, so that was the end of it. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So coping strategies, right? Be positive. Have, like we talked about before, learn to live with stress. It's always going to be there. But what we can focus on is, where do I want my stress to be? 2, what did I learn from it? And 3, I'll get through it. Those 3 things, right? Very simple, right? I'm living with it. How can I learn from this? And and where are the positives within this learning opportunity, right? Because there's obviously a point of toxic optimism where it's like, yo, this person just died. How are you finding positive in it? You have to grieve, obviously, right? But there's always something positive that can be taken away, and finding that and having that opportunity for yourself is going to be huge. Make the choice to not overreact. Yeah, that's big. Somebody called you a mean name. Don't disrespect me like that. Okay, like take a breath before you react, right? Let the individual, you're never going to see them again. They didn't harm you. They didn't do anything to you. They just said a couple mean things. And it's like, why do you have to be stressed about this for the rest of your day? Why do you have to ruminate on it? Right. And that's something that's bigger within yourself that you have to look at. Right. Because I know what they said is not true. So why am I getting hurt by it? And why is it causing me so much psychological stress? Right. And that takes me to the next point. Take an objective view. Again, I have to go into work every day. I hate work. Not me personally, right? But let's say this is a situation, right? I hate work. And so now, an objective view. I gotta go to work or else my kids don't got a place to live. They don't got groceries. They don't got a bed to sleep on. They don't not got clean clothes. We don't have electricity. Why stress over it? Why not have a growth mindset? Oh, if I grind hard, then I can get into a management position, make more money, have better hours, right? Or I can get my education on, get a better job outside of this and a different job. It's something that I'm really passionate about. Learn to grow from whatever's causing you stress. Take an objective view. Take a step back, right? Communicate. Do not ruminate or bottle up. Again, and this goes with make the choice to not overreact. Take a step back. Think objectively. Oh, this is really bothering me. I've noticed that my body gets really stressed when my husband says, "Hey, uh, Twyla, you look like those pants look tight on you today," and that makes you really stressed out. And you don't appreciate those comments. You got to communicate that. Take a step back because it can obviously cause overreaction, but you also got to take an objective view. Is my husband kind of an asshole? Does he not know how to voice or communicate himself? Right? Then you come back. Hey, this is how what you said made me feel, and I did not appreciate that. I'm taking the steps necessary to take care of myself, and I don't need to hear that coming from you. Right? Boom. All right. You communicate instead of you sitting there thinking, man, John really hates me and doesn't think I'm attractive. Nah, explain that to him, right? Because oftentimes this, you know, people don't know they hurt you until you share how what they said made you feel, right? Accept yourself and others. No one is perfect, right? No one, no one. As much as I want to be, right? No one is perfect. So understand that. Accept yourself for where you are right now. Um, and remember, you're if you want to get out of there and you want to grow, this is just where you're starting. And the future, there's going to be more success that comes. And you just got to be focused on that. That every day I'm learning from the stress that I experience. Um, and I'm creating a plan to help myself solve that problem. And I'm focused on my long term goal. I know that I'm doing everything I can to get there. I can accept that. Right. But what we can't accept is I'm whining and complaining every day that I'm gaining weight and that I don't feel healthy and that my body hurts and I'm depressed and anxious. I'm complaining all the time, but I'm never doing anything about it. Accept where you are, get the help that you need, right? Um, and then connect with like-minded people. This is extremely important. Creating a community, a supportive community around yourself. Like I said, accept yourself. I'm somebody with depression and I struggle with staying focused on my goals. Oh, and I guarantee you there are millions and millions and millions of people just like you. Okay. And if you find like-minded people who want to get out of that state of mind and improve their life, then you can find a group that free Facebook groups, Discord groups, coaches, uh, um, groups like this, Facebook groups that are focused on connecting like-minded people and finding help with what they're trying to get through, right? Perfect. And then the last one, deal effectively with mistakes. Like we talked about, growth mindset, optimistic. We're going to find a solution, we're going to learn from it, and we're going to be better the next time. Okay. Deal effectively with success. And I just smashed these goals, but you know what? Like, that's awesome, but there's always more to do. The grind doesn't stop, right? You just because you lost 30 pounds in 3 months, which would be insane, right? You lost 30 pounds in 3 months, but what are you going to do after, right? Which is always something to plan for. Plan for success. What are you going to do when you're successful? What am I going to reward myself, and how am I going to push myself more? Develop discipline and control. A disciplined life is a free life. Okay, which is a little different than what we may think, right? But when you learn to live with discipline, you learn to live free because you're focused on yourself and you're doing what you want to do. Okay, discipline and control are key, and especially being successful with weight loss. I have two parties for my children this weekend, but you know what? I have to meal prep. I have to clean my house. I have to um, sleep. I have to eat healthy. And you know what? If that time doesn't come, I need to exercise. If we don't get to that, sorry, Jimmy. You know, sorry, right? And sometimes that just needed, right? Oh, I'm really tired after work. I slept 7 hours last night, this whole week. But you know what? And I haven't worked out all week, but I'm tired right now. Yeah, you should go work out. Easy. And then the last one is maintain. Practice, practice, practice. Never stop. The more you practice, the easier it gets. The better you get with it, and the more benefits that you see from it. And the best part is that it gets personalized to you. So now you're using this in a way that fits for you, right? And that's why I tell people all the time: try these different strategies out. Continue with the one that you enjoy the most, and what you have to understand is that it's as you practice it, it's going to become personalized to you, right? You do these things every single day. After a while, you won't have to do them every day. You only have to use them when you need it, right? But in the beginning, you need to do it every day. You need to create that habit. You need to create a little bit of how do you say, trust that it works for you. Okay, but once you learn to manage your stress, what becomes important to you will become a priority. You'll learn how to manage what's important to stress about and what you don't need to stress as much about. Okay, and when that happens, you become the priority. Okay, and when you become the priority, you're going to do what's necessary and what's best for yourself. And that is the key with this stress management for weight loss stuff. It's simply you prioritizing your health and fitness rather than you overreacting, overstressing, and becoming overly anxious and depressed and thinking, this just isn't for me. This just doesn't work for me, right? It gets past that and prioritizes you. And all the goal is for proper health is for you to become that priority and for you to become mindful and aware of of how your body's feeling and how what you put into your body is going to affect the way you feel and the way you grow. Okay, so I hope this was helpful for y'all. I appreciate it, and give it a thumbs up when you can. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. I don't know where my mouse is. Okay, and